What is up, everybody? Zach from Moto Chronicles. Today we're going to be installing the Outback Motortek rack for the Husky 701. I already have the Perun rack on the back, so the holes are already drilled. I will incorporate from a previous video into this video how to drill the holes. But yeah, let's get this rack installed. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and pull all these bolts off so we can pull this rack off and expose the holes underneath. For the Perun, these will be a 5mm. Not sure if that's what it's going to be on whatever you currently have on your bike, but I should mention, in order to make this work, you do need the adapter kit, and the reason I'm doing this install separate from the previous install is that I ordered the V1 adapter kit, and you need the V2 adapter kit for at least for the 23. So make sure when you're ordering the parts, you're paying attention to that so you don't wind up with the wrong parts and having to wait a couple weeks like I did. First thing you're gonna want to do is remove the seat. So there's this black pull loop right here. On that, seat will pop up, and then you got two snaps in the front. And that seat will just lift off. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is pull off your left-sided fender. So you got this bolt right here. There's a snap up here, and then this bolt right here. You're also going to want to move the exhaust heat shield. That's a T25, not a T30. And then this will all just come off as one piece. Like I said, there's a snap up here. That'll just come off. All right, next step will be removing this right side. So pull off this guy. And then there's a clip up here like on the other side. So pop that off. And then if you look through to that side, you can see that white tab right there, so you got to get a screwdriver through there and pop that out. Next step's going to be removing this rear fender. So you got a bolt here, a bolt here, and then we already took the two off the top. Alright, I forgot to mention, if you have the stock exhaust on, this bolt to take the rear fender off can be pretty difficult. So your best bet really is just to pop these two bolts off here, and then you'll be able to move the exhaust enough away to get into that bolt and get your rear fender off. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is drill out for the spacers so we can mount the rack. So each fender has markings on it to do this. The rear fender, you have a marking here and a marking here. The right fender, you have a marking right here, and they look like a little target with a dot in the middle. And then same one on the left fender, target with a dot. I'm going to use this smaller bit to drill through that, and then I'm going to go up to 5/8. If you're not in America, it is 16mm. Alright, so I'll take my step bit off at that 5/8, and now we're just going to drill down on in there. Alright, now we're going to start putting the fenders back on, so we'll start with the right side. And this is that tab that you pulled out from the other side, so make sure that you line that up. When you do the left side, if this guy came off, go ahead and put it back on. And then we'll get this guy put back on. And last part's the rear fender. Helps if you start on one side and kind of hook it like that, and then you'll have to come over here and peel that one side back. Then we'll get all those screws back on. Three screws for the left side. Alright, so just to recap all the screws, we got the two on the heat shield and then the one right there. I recommend leaving all these loose, and then once you have them all started, then tighten them up. You got the two up top, and then two on the bottom. No screws on this side other than the top. Just make sure you get that clip in there good. And then now we'll go to installing the rack. All right, next thing you're gonna wanna do is remove any foot pegs or heel guards that you have on here. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, next thing we're gonna do is put the two spacers in the holes that we've drilled. If you're doing just the Outback Motortek rack, the spacers might look a little different. Just use what came with the kit. These ones came with the conversion kit to run the Perun rack as well. All right, so next thing we're gonna wanna do is we have the Outback Motortek rack, the little shim for the plate, and we're gonna run these bolts that came with the adapter kit down through the spacers and into the holes, and then we'll loosely secure these. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side, put the two spacers in there. And same thing as the other side, you'll come and put the two supplied bolts on. Leave those relatively loose as well. All right, then the next thing we're gonna do is use the supplied spacers to put them in between the racks here. The bigger ones are gonna go towards the front of the bike, and the smaller ones will go towards the back. The smaller ones fit in there pretty loosely and they keep falling out, so I'm going to put those in when I put them on the bolt. Alright, so now you got the plate for the bolt. Make sure you're using the longer bolt, not the shorter one. The longer one's going to go in front, then the spacer, and then the wedge. And we have the small spacer that needs to come through here with this bolt. Come down here and torque down the foot pegs all the way. And that's that. All right, now if you elected to get the X-frame, gonna get these guys started. Found the best way to get this on is to just put these guys on somewhat loose. So once you have those started on the back like that, you got a 4mm Allen close by. You can set this up in here to make sure it's centered, and then you'll just tighten these Allens down. And the last part we'll be putting this bar on. You'll use the 4 provided bolts with washers and nuts. Then we'll tighten these down all the way. It's gonna be a 10 mil wrench with a 8 mil socket. All right, and that's the rack installed. Admittedly, the back brace looks a little awkward. Might fabricate up something later on that just comes kind of up and over the other way, or might just not run it, we'll see. But all in all, looks pretty good. Like the way this conversion kit worked out well. It's all super solid, so. All right guys, and that's the install. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped you out get yours installed. Appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and get out and ride.